So in the previous class, we were discussing about metals and non-metals. In that we studied the physical properties of metals and non-metals, right? In the previous class, we discussed the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So today, we are going to discuss the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. What are those chemical properties? Okay, so here the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. We are going to discuss chemical properties of metals. Okay. So we are going to discuss chemical properties of metals. So what are these chemical properties? So here the chemical properties, metals are electropositive in nature. So we studied that metals are electropositive in nature. Metals are electropositive in nature, right? Metals are electropositive in nature and they have a tendency to lose one or more electrons. Metals are electropositive in nature. They have tendency to lose one or more. Lose one or more electrons present in the valency. One or more electrons present in the valency. Okay, they have the tendency to lose one or more electrons present in the valency. Then of valence shell of their atoms, valence, I will continue here only, valence, the valence shell, where the valence shell, it will be in the valence shell of the atom. Okay, they have tendency to lose one or more electrons present in the valence shell of the atom to form cation. To form cation and achieve nearest noble gas configuration. Form cation, why they are going to attain why they are going to lose one or more electron which are present in the outermost shell? Because they have to attain the configuration of noble gas which is nearest to that atom. Okay, so therefore here when they are going to lose their electrons, the valence shell electrons, when they are going to lose, they are going to become a cation. They are going to form a cation and achieve what they are going to achieve nearest noble gas configuration and achieve nearest noble gas configuration. This is the property of those metals. Okay, almost all metals, they are electropositive in nature and here they have tendency to lose one or more electrons present in the valence shell of the atom to form cation and achieve nearest noble gas configuration. So here This is what about the they are going to when they are going to reacting chemically. Okay, in that we are going to discuss one by one with oxygen and water, acids and bases. What are the products they are going to form and what is the reason when these metals are going to react chemically. In that first we are going to discuss the metal reaction with oxygen. The first reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. Okay, so here reaction with oxygen. First, take down here. Almost all metals combine with oxygen to form metal oxides. When these metals are reacting with oxygen, they are going to form their oxides. Right? Okay. Right on here. All metals when react with oxygen, all metals combine with or react with combine with oxygen to form metal oxides. All metals combine with oxygen to form respective metal oxide. They are going to form the metal oxides. Almost all. Okay. Take down that example. In general equation, how we are going to write? In a general formula. Here I will write the general formula. General formula when metals are reacting to the oxygen. The general formula is what? Metal plus oxygen. What is going to form? They are going to form metal oxides. They are going to form metal oxides. Okay. This is the general formula. General formula of what? Metal with the oxygen. Now take on the examples here. How they are going to form the oxides. Okay, let us consider first. We consider the highly reactive element, but they are soft in the metals and vigorously. They react vigorously, very fast. Okay, so that are sodium and potassium. Okay, we know that if these are highly reactive and if they expose to air or water, they are going to make a fire catches, right? They catches the fire because that's the reason potassium, sodium are going to preserve in kerosene. If they exposed, if it keeps outside, when they come in contact with the atmospheric air, small amount also, they are going to explode. That is the reason these are highly reactive elements. Sodium and potassium are the highly reactive elements. When they react with oxygen, what's going to form? They are also going to form their oxides. But here, even at room temperature, no need of any other heat. If you keep it when it expand to that normal temperature at room temperature only, even if you keep here, it starts fire. Okay, it catches the fire suddenly. So it is vigorously reactive, highly reactive element with respect to water as well as air. Okay, that's the reason these are not stored in open space. Almost all sodium and potassium will be preserved in a kerosene. Okay, yes. So the general metal is oxygen, metal oxide. So sodium and potassium react with oxygen at room temperature to form their respective oxides like sodium oxide and potassium oxide. They react vigorously with oxygen and catch fire easily and start burning when kept open in air. They start burning when they kept open in air. For this reason, they are stored under kerosene. Right? If we get in a small amount of air also, they when it come in contact with air, they are going to form their oxides as well as they catch fire easily. Okay, now write down how we are going to write that equation. Take down sodium Na plus O2. Okay, sodium plus O2 sodium plus O2 going to form Na2O. Na2O. Just a minute. Okay. So here, now it is not balanced, right? This equation is not balanced. Here in reactant 2 oxygens are there, in product only 1 oxygen. And in product 2 molecules of sodium are there, and in reactant only 1. So to balance, what we have to do here? So O2, 2 are there, here I should make it 2, then I am going to write here 2. But now sodium becomes 4, right? So what I have to write here? I have to write 4 sodium. Now this equation is balanced. So when sodium is going to react with oxygen, it is going to form its oxide. So here I write sodium oxide. Below we have to write sodium oxide. Okay, sodium plus oxygen, it is going to form sodium oxide. Then potassium. Write down here potassium K plus O2. What is the product? Here also the product is K2O. K2O. Again, this reaction is not balanced actually. Then what we have to do? See, just look at that. At reactant, how many molecules of oxygen is there? 2. Right? And here in the product 1. Then what we have to do? We have to write down here cofactor. Okay, coefficient 2K. Again, the potassium becomes 4 molecules. So write down here 4. 4K plus O2, 2K2O. What is this? K2K2O? It is potassium oxide. Potassium oxide. Okay, yes, potassium oxide. So these are what the highly reactive elements, potassium and sodium. These two are highly reactive elements dependent on metal. Highly reactive metal. Highly reactive metals. Sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals. Okay. I think the board is clear. Is it clear? Okay. So these two, when the highly reactive metals, that is sodium and potassium, react with oxygen, they are going to form their oxides. Okay, yes, take down in your notebook. And next, comparatively, next reactive metals are aluminium, zinc and lead. They also combine with oxygen which is present in air. Okay, at ordinary temperature, they can react with the oxygen at ordinary temperature to form their, they are going to form their protective layer. Okay, that oxide on the surface. If I have taken that zinc metal, when it is in ordinary air, the oxygen is present. Okay, even at that ordinary temperature only, when zinc, lead and aluminium, they are going to react with oxygen, they are going to form their layer on their surface. Okay, so that is what we used to say, that protective layer. They are going to form their oxides. Almost all metals when they are going to react with oxygen, they are going to form their oxides. And that oxide, especially that aluminium, zinc and lead, they are going to form their one layer, and that layer is what? Oxide layer. It is going to form on the surface of that metal. We move to the next one, chemical properties of metal. That is next example, zinc and aluminium. So here in zinc and aluminium and lead, when they react with oxygen, they are going to form the zinc oxide, aluminium oxide and lead oxide. So even at ordinary temperature, why we are using that ordinary temperature means some metals also there, they require heat. Okay, when those metals are heated, then only they are going to form their oxides, right? So we are classifying in the groups. Some metals no need of heat, even they exposed to the air, then also they are going to form their oxides. And some metals, they suddenly reacting with the oxygen, and they are going to catch fire easily, like sodium and potassium. And now we are discussing that zinc, aluminium and lead. Okay. Next example, zinc, aluminium and lead. Okay. Let us consider here when zinc react with the oxygen in moist air. Okay. Zinc react with the oxygen. They are going to form their layer. I told you the oxide layer is going to form on the surface of the metal. So when this zinc react with oxygen, that oxygen, almost zinc is going to form that layer oxide in moist air. Oxygen react with oxygen in moist air. Okay. So here in moist air. Okay. Then how we have to write that equation? Write on Za. Zn plus O2. I told you oxide means what? ZnO. Okay. Whether this equation is balanced? No. 2 molecules of oxygen are here and only 1 molecule of oxygen is there in the product side. So what we have to do now? So here we have to write 2ZnO. But if it is 2ZnO, then only one, and here also I will write 2ZN, 2 molecules of Zn plus oxygen. It is going to form its oxide ZnO. Okay. Yes. Next, we'll move to the aluminium. However, the aluminium, okay, is going to react with the oxygen. It is going to form its aluminium oxide. So here write down it is zinc oxide. Zinc oxide. Then next write down aluminium plus O2. Al plus O2. What is the product here? Al2O3. Al2O3. Yes, see here the 2 molecules of aluminium is there and 3 molecules of oxygen. Then how to balance here? Let us balance here that 2 first. We'll take it as 2 aluminium, 2 Al2O3. Now total molecules of oxygen becomes 6. So therefore here also 3 molecules of oxygen. And what about here? 4. 8. In the next class you will learn how to balance these chemical equations. Right? I think the screen is not clear much. Shall I turn off the light? Foam aluminium plus oxygen aluminium oxide. It is also a protective layer. Okay. Yes. Then write down what is the product here? Aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide. Okay. Then next example, write down lead. Here lead react with oxygen in air to form lead oxide, but here the lead should be heated under 600 to 800 degree Celsius. So write down here lead plus oxygen. So about 600 to 800 degrees Celsius. 600 to 800 degrees Celsius. When it is to be heated, then it is going to form its oxide, that is lead oxide, PbO. Okay. Again, 2 molecules are there. 2. Lead, when lead react with oxygen, but when it is going to react with oxygen, when that lead is heated under 600 degrees Celsius to the 800 degrees Celsius, then it is going to form its oxide. Okay, write down here lead oxide. Okay, yes. So zinc oxide, aluminium oxide and lead oxide. When these 3 metals, so step by step, first we discuss sodium and potassium, highly reactive element. After that series, the next reactive elements are zinc, aluminium and lead. These 3, when these 3 elements or the metals, zinc, metal, aluminium and lead, when they are going to react with oxygen, when they are going to form their protective layer, that is known as their oxide layer. So zinc oxide and aluminium oxide and lead oxide. So here they are going to react. When the zinc is going to react with oxygen in moist air, in a moist air, zinc is going to react with oxygen and it is going to form its protective layer, that is zinc oxide. And aluminium, almost in normal air, it is going to react to form its aluminium oxide. And lead, it is going to react oxygen in presence of 600 degrees Celsius to 800 degrees Celsius to form its protective layer, that is lead oxide. So understood here? Just write down there some sentence. Aluminium, zinc and lead also combine with oxygen present in air to form a protective layer of the oxide on their surface. Right? Okay. What is that? Aluminium, zinc and lead. Aluminium, zinc and lead also combine with air. Aluminium, zinc and lead also combine with air. Also combine with the oxygen in air. Combine with the oxygen. Combine with oxygen to form a protective layer. To form a protective layer. Oxygen to form a protective layer of But these reactions are but these reactions are slower than sodium and potassium. But these reactions are slower than, okay, slower than that of sodium and potassium. Slower than that of sodium and potassium. See the metals, we know that the classification, while classifying these metals on the basis of different physical properties we studied, right? In those physical properties we come to know that some metals are highly reactive because of their melting point and boiling point, all those matters, and their appearance, right, and their structures, their solidification means hardness and softness and their availability, right, these all things and their conduct. On the basis of that, the reactivity series is there. These are highly reactive, sodium and potassium. Then the zinc, aluminium and lead are compared to sodium and potassium. These reactions are slower. Then another metals like magnesium. Okay. It is reacts with oxygen when it is heated. Okay. That to ignition. To its ignition temperature and burns brightly to form magnesium oxide. We have seen that magnesium ribbon, when it burns, it is going to form and white color powder is going to form. That white color powder is what? Magnesium oxide. See that three categories we studied, but there is no need of any heating process, right? When they expose to air, they start reacting and they are going to form their oxides. Then second group we studied these three metals when at ordinary temperature only they are going to react. Okay, in moist air, as only here that lead, when it is going to form in lead oxide, the some temperature it should be maintained. How much? 600 degrees Celsius to 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, and here it is maintained temperature, not we are heating. Just remember children, we are maintaining the temperature there. Okay, heating not we are keeping that in one container and we are going to burn. Ignition is not there. We are maintaining the temperature, heating. That temperature should be maintained so that lead is going to react with the oxygen in presence of 800 degrees Celsius to 600 to 800 degrees Celsius. And the magnesium, the next metal, that is magnesium, it is going to be heated. Okay, in presence of heat, then only if you take a magnesium ribbon and just ignite it and it start burning to produce magnesium oxide. It is going to produce magnesium oxide, MgO. So these are few metals. When they are going to react with the oxygen, they are going to form their oxides. Okay. So here, compared to aluminium, zinc and lead, that magnesium is also more reactive. Okay. Then next, we move to the another metal. How the iron, copper are going to react with the oxygen. We know that iron metals, some articles are there in our home, right? Even if it is in a moisture, what is going to form? We had seen that a brown color layer is going to form on those articles, right? And even copper also. Let's see, in our home, there is a copper metals. What we are going to see that copper metals. Right, where we are going to see that copper metals in our daily home, right? Jug will be there, copper jug, glass, right? So there, let's see that a green color layer is going to form on the copper. What are those then? They are going to react with the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere. So that is what we used to say, that ferric oxide, when iron is going to react and react with oxygen at high temperature, that is in carbon. Okay, in Fe and copper. Iron react with the oxygen. Iron react with the oxygen. Okay, at high temperature to give at high temperature to give here mixture of, to give a mixture of, to give a mixture of FeO dot Fe2O3, FeO dot Fe2O3. Okay. The name of this is, that is ferroferric oxide, or also it is known as iron 2,3 oxide. The name of this is iron 2,3 oxide. Okay, or even it can also be known as ferric oxide. When we are going to say that ferric oxide, when it is Fe3O4. Okay, when it is written Fe3O4, then it is the name of that is ferric oxide. If we have written FeO, Fe2O3, then we are writing iron 2,3 oxide. Okay, so why these names are there, we will discuss in the next class. So here I will write that equation. Okay, then we will come to the line. Fe plus O2 in presence of heat, it is going to form FeO, Fe2O3. So we know that the oxygens are 4. Then what we have to write here? The 3 molecules of iron are there. So 3. And what about oxygen? 4 are there. Therefore 2. This is a chemical reaction. Okay. 3Fe plus 2O2 in presence of heat, it is going to form FeO, Fe2O3. Here 2, 3 means when they are going to react, the 2 as well as 3 ions, plus 2 plus 3 ions are going to form. That is the reason it is written as 2,3 oxide. If we have combined it and Fe3O4, then we are going to say it as a ferric oxide. Okay? Yes. So here, and I'm going to stop this today's session.